In case you don't browse Twitter, or X as it's called now, Tectone released a big tweet recently where he was talking to gacha gaming content creators. And now, I know Tectone is very much a controversial figure on the YouTube space. He definitely rubs some people the wrong way, but a lot of people really like him as well. Regardless of your opinion on him, he's influential in the space. And so he had this really interesting tweet talking about gacha gaming creators, the gacha gaming space in general, and how it kind of fits in the YouTube and Twitch sphere. And I wanted to take a look at this tweet and talk about it and give some of my thoughts about what he wrote in this tweet here. So let's take a look. So as you can see, this one's pretty long. We're going to kind of read through it and kind of see what he has to say. And like I said before, give some of my thoughts about what we have here. So just to kick us off, a message to gacha creators. Unfortunately, a lot more creators than I thought have felt excluded or not really known where to go to find like-minded individuals and feel like they're on an island. True. That's very true. It's been really hard to connect with other creators in the space for making gacha games. Fortunately, I've been able to connect with a few of them. I don't know if you guys are a fan of like Clint Wolf, for example. You know, him and I have had some exchanges back and forth. He reacted to one of my videos recently too. Shout out Clint. If you see this video, thanks for doing that. I also have been chatting a little bit with another guy named Lobopixel. He's pretty cool. I've been enjoying some of his content as well. But other than that, that's really it. You know, being a new creator to the space, it's really hard to get integrated with other content creators. It's hard to connect with people. Like, the internet is so much connection between people, but also it's so hard to connect with people all at the same time. It's crazy. Since I started the Gacha podcast, legit yesterday, over 12 creators messaged me feeling like other CCs avoid them or have stopped talking to them abruptly and they don't know what they've done wrong. I haven't really encountered that, so I don't really have many thoughts on that, but I could totally see why that could be the case. I also don't want to necessarily jump to that's because of gacha games. Sometimes you just don't connect with people or vibe with people, and it's time to kind of, you know, that connection just kind of finishes and you kind of move on. So I wouldn't necessarily jump to always that it's because I play gacha games that these people don't like me. Like, no, that's not always the case. Sometimes you just don't totally connect with people. So that's fine. First off, I'd like to say that any of y'all can reach out to me to talk anytime. You're never a bother. I love meeting new people. Hey, I tweeted at you, so follow up. I'm just kidding. I get it. You're busy. But yes, sadly, this is a very introverted community, and a lot of CCs like to stick to what they know, are overly cautious of meeting new people, and, well, spread rumors behind the scenes of who's problematic and who's not, and who you should talk to and who you shouldn't talk to. That is such high school bull crap that, like, I think is like so ridiculous. Again, I've been fortunate enough that I haven't had to experience that kind of stuff directly. But the idea that like other people are like gossiping behind people's backs and, you know, getting into people's DMs being like, oh, you can't talk to this content creator. You can't watch their content because it's really concerning. And you don't associate with them because of all these reasons, when it's just like, I don't know, you think they're kind of annoying or maybe a little bit rude. Like that feels like so crazy to me. Like, I get there are legitimate reasons for things. There are some content creators that have done some terrible stuff, but it still feels like such high school BS. I don't understand why people do it. If you're feeling this way, I hope that you know that you're not alone and there is hope to make new connections and meet new people, but you really got to just take the dive for yourself. There's tons of great people in this space that would love to do things with everyone, but you got to reach out and stop waiting for others to reach out to you. True. Big true. Got to reach out to people. And I've personally been doing that. I've been trying to jump in people's DMs and connect with people. Like I said, I've really been connecting with some other content creators in the space and would love to connect with more. So feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter. I've also got my email. I got a professional, contact email in the bio. Feel free to, shoot me an email there. Quote, but I'm worried about people thinking I'm a clout chaser. First off, being a clout chaser doesn't work. True. Getting friends won't net you views if you're not good at content. At least that's the way that I've seen it. Also true. And on that note, anyone who calls you a clout chaser that quick just because you want to hang out and grab a drink IRL is effing delusional, over paranoid, and TBH needs to chill. Or in other words, touch grass. There are a lot of really cool content creators in the space that I would love to have the opportunity to, brush shoulders with, to meet. That I've been fans of for a really long time, that I'm sure if I ever got the opportunity to do so, that there would be somebody who would say this, just push that off. But like you were saying before too, about like getting views or meeting people isn't necessarily like akin to success. There's been a lot of other creators who have collabed with bigger creators that haven't blown up in the same way. You have to still be able to stand on your own 2 feet with your content to be able to actually continue to grow in that way. I'm not trying to speak like I'm an expert in this. Look, at the time of recording, I've got like 3K subs. Like, so there are people who are way bigger than me. I'm not trying to speak like I'm some, I don't know, sage on the topic, but seems to be true, at least from what I experience in viewing people online as well. As a fellow watcher, as it were. Scrolling down here, I know it's very scary because a lot of y'all feel like you're walking on eggshells with everything you say and everything you do. But I promise you, things are a lot better than what you might think. True, be yourself. Lastly, don't listen to everything about everybody that you hear behind the scenes. We're grown-ups and we can make decisions for ourselves. And if you think talking to this person or talking to that person is going to cause you to lose connections, do you really want to have to live your life dictated by someone else's rules? No. And also, no, I also agree with that. You should have the freedom to choose who you want to reach out, communicate with, and associate with. And if other people have problems with that they need to have their own boundaries for that, look, that's on them. You can't control other people in your own life. They have to decide what's best for them, and you got to decide what's best for you. And it's always better to stay true to yourself and who you are than to constantly fake and pretend to be somebody else. You can't do that forever. You can't. It's not sustainable. At some point, you're either going to break, or maybe eventually you'll brainwash yourself into actually being that person too. I think both are pretty bad things. Don't cave to what other people want you to be. Asmongold's got an expression of you need to be your own North Star. And I would say in many cases, true. When it comes to things like content creation or your passions and your pursuits, you really do need to be your own driving force behind that. You can't just be pursuing things just because you want to live up to somebody else's expectations. Now, I don't think that's a complete sentiment in all aspects of life. It'd take too long to break into all of that, but I do think that is something important within your own passions that you do need to look at that. So be your own North Star for your passions for sure. Back to what we were saying before, no, probably not, because we're content creators. And the reason why we probably got into this in the first place is because we're spoiled, and the idea of having to listen to a boss stupider than us makes us want to rip our eyeballs out. I just did it for fun. I don't do this full time. I don't make big content creator money or anything like that. I just do this for fun, but I can definitely understand that sentiment. I mean, hey, look, maybe we can make it bigger. Drop a like and subscribe. Let's see where it goes. I hope if you read this, you'll try to put yourself out there and really try to connect the space because there's so many great people in it. But it may not be comfy, but just put yourself out there and maybe reach out to other people to at least say hi. Thanks for reading all this. I hope you have a wonderful day. Look, there's a lot of true things in there. And actually that last part about just making yourself uncomfortable, going out there, stretching yourself, reaching out to people to just say hi, that goes such a long way. And it's something that I think actually should be applied to all parts of your life, whether it's in business, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in, content creation and online. You have to be the one to push yourself out there first. And honestly, often a lot of people start to gravitate to that. A lot of other people sometimes just want to see one other person take that step. And I think actually I really appreciate Tectone for making a post like this because I don't think there's been a lot of people who have been big advocates for the gacha space. I think there's been a lot of people who've almost spoken loud like, yeah, this is kind of bad, but like, no, it's kind of fun. We're going to do it anyway. And like, I've always had to kind of like, couch their words and protect themselves on it. And like I said, that's a bigger topic that maybe we'll make another video on sometime. But I do, at the very least, appreciate him posting this out there for other content creators, newer content creators, smaller content creators like myself who are, newer to the space. And it's, I think it's really helpful for somebody who's got a very well-established platform and has done a lot, been through a lot, and passed through a lot of different games. So thank you, Tectone. Thanks for putting that out there. I think it's really cool. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, not everybody who's watching this is a content creator. I doubt that everyone who's subscribed to my channel is a content creator, but it's somebody who watches content creators who maybe you have aspirations to be a content creator yourself and you want to do some kind of content. What do you think? What do you think of the post down below? Do you hate it? Do you hate it because it's just Tectone and you're so triggered by Tectone that you just didn't want to read it in the first place? I understand. He's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but I think one thing's for sure, he definitely tries to stay true to who he is and put himself out there. So I still respect that at the end of the day. And so it's cool. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.